Today we will be briefing you on a 2022 animated romantic comedy, Intergalactic. Sit back and enjoy. Jabari is seen chilling on the roof of his new place enjoying a smoke when the movers announce the delivery of his last piece. He goes down, gives them a tip and disappointedly carries the heavy sculpture towards the elevator when it suddenly opens and a woman walks out. Surprised to see the unlikely thing, she snaps a picture of the sculpture which looks like a bear. They exchange hellos without seeing each other's face. After dumping the sculpture in the apartment, Jabari takes his bike to grab some Chinese takeout. On his ride back he bumps into Carmen, his ex, who finds out that Jabari has a great new job and a new apartment in Manhattan. Carmen suggests they should go out sometime to celebrate his success. Back at his crib his friends tell him to stay away from Carmen, who he hasn't seen for 6 months, as she was opportunistic, and suggesting their meeting was no coincidence. That night Jabari awakened by a loud honk and walks out on his balcony looking over the streets. He can't help to stalk Carmen's Instagram and thinks about her. He decides to meet her and sends her a DM. They meet at a club and after a night that goes wild, with a few extra drinks and flirting, they end up in Carmen's apartment and make love. The next morning, Jabari wakes up with a hangover. Carmen asks Jabari to talk to her mom on the phone, who invites Jabari to her niece's christening. Feeling disoriented, Jabari is not happy with the turn of events and tells Carmen that they made a mistake and he is not ready for a relationship. Carmen is a bit disappointed that Jabari doesn't want them to be more than just friends. Jabari leaves her pad and cycles his way navigating the busy streets, immersed in his thoughts when he almost gets hit by a cab. The next scene opens with a woman putting on a record, meditating and saging her apartment. She then gets up to see her photographs develop in the dark room. The scene quickly changes to Jabari chilling with his two friends and hopping around some nightclubs and drinking. The scene shifts to Jabari waking up to his phone ringing, at his new job at Cosmic Comics. It's his friend Jimmy telling him to get a Turkish bath to rid the hangover. A guy enters Jabari's cubicle with a Japanese worry plant for him, as a welcome gesture. Introducing himself as Len, he gives a few tips to Jabari on his new illustration job. Jabari doesn't agree and plans to stick to his original style and dives into his work. Time flies and he dozes off on his desk, dreaming about his dark Mr. Rager character chasing him on the streets trying to destroy him. When he wakes up, it's already late and the office is empty. He grabs his backpack and leaves. In the middle of the night, Jabari wakes up to the sound of loud music. Angry and frustrated he decides to interrupt the party and goes looking for the host. He is interrupted by a guy and before they get into a brawl, a woman intercedes. Taken by her beauty, Jabari falls in a trance, until the woman nudges him. Jabari tells her he is the new neighbor to which the woman almost immediately apologizes for the loud music and turns it down. She asks for his name and introduces herself as Meadow, inviting him for a drink. Jabari, already taken by her beauty, says he would rather go back to sleep but she can carry on with her party and loud music as he doesn't want to be a party pooper. The next morning, there's a knock on his door. To his surprise, it's Meadow, who wants to apologize for disturbing his sleep the night before and offers him lunch in order to ease her guilt. They walk down the street to her favorite place and order 2 chef specials. Jabari finds out she is a photographer and to Meadow's sweet surprise Jabari is the artist behind her favorite comic character Mr. Rager. They enjoy the meal and spend the whole day strolling on the streets and getting caught up in the rain. Jabari offers her his hoodie and takes her to a cul-de-sac, revealing his artwork on the wall hidden behind old posters and a dumpster. His very first Mr. Rager graffiti. Impressed, Meadow clicks a few pics. In the next scene, Jabari's friend advises him not to date his neighbor, relating his own bad experience. Meanwhile Meadow's friend, Karina teases her about her date with Jabari and inquires about the next one, while she gets ready to go out with her friend, Reed. They go to a weird vagina-themed party hosted by Reed's ex-girlfriend where they greet and talk about Meadow's photography. Sydney asks her permission to steal Reed for a few minutes and walks off, while Meadow wanders off to the bar alone, where she is spotted by Jabari. His friend encourages Jabari to go and talk to Meadow. Jabari surprises Meadow with his presence and they both decide to leave the party. Jabari offers her a ride on his bike to which she agrees and they both embark on a journey of intergalactic love. The next chapter begins with a boxing class where Meadow and her friend are talking about Jabari and her date. In another scene, Jabari is relating the same events to his 2 friends. They were shocked to know that he rode her on his bike instead of an Uber. The scene skips back to Meadow's friend where she is telling Meadow about her first date and how she had sex in the restroom of an old Japanese restaurant. While Jabari is being teased by his friends for not kissing Meadow and taking it to another level. On the other hand, Meadow admits to having some feelings which seem to be more than just her desire for sex. Karina encourages her to be open and embrace her feelings while Jabari is advised to be more assertive before he gets friend-zoned. However, they both agree on one thing, that they are not going to sleep with their neighbor. However, Jabari and Meadow are attracted to each other like magnets, and when they can't resist it anymore, Meadow ends up at Jabari's door and they share a steamy kiss. Jabari takes her inside and they end up making love. Finally, love blossoms between the two and they spend time together riding bikes and taking photographs, going on dates and making out, every chance they get. One night while sleeping in bed together, Meadow sees a text on Jabari's phone. It has a suggestive picture of Carmen wearing Jabari's hoodie, revealing he was with her the night before. The next scene opens to Jabari going to Carmen's apartment to kill a rat. He takes off his shirt and leaves it there. Jabari is worried that Meadow saw the sext and it might spoil his relationship with her. He can't help thinking about Meadow and the times they spent together. He heads back to meet Carmen to set the record straight. They argue about the picture that Carmen sent and how it was not okay with Jabari to be friends with her. Upset, Carmen gives him back his hoodie and blocks him. Meadow tries to concentrate on her museum show, but doesn't feel too excited. They bump into each other outside their apartments. Jabari tries to explain the drama with his ex to an irritated Meadow and tells her that he really likes her. Meadow admits to her feelings for him as well, but thinks that things were moving too fast between them and that they need to slow down, leaving him disappointed. In the final chapter, Meadow is hurt and crying in the cab thinking about Carmen's suggestive pic. She goes off to meet Reed before her show, who tries to cheer her up and thinks that she is just anxious about her show. The next scenes hop to and fro from Jabari to Meadow, showing them busy in their lives trying to cope, yet suffering silently. Jabari enjoys success with his Mr. Rager comics and contemplates sending a message to Meadow but deletes it. Meanwhile, Meadow struggles with the idea of putting up Jabari's portrait in her show. Jabari's sister visits him and advises him to talk to Meadow again. Meadow is enjoying her opening show at the museum, yet longing to see Jabari there. When it's her time to speak, she spots him in the crowd. After her speech, she goes looking for Jabari. She leaves the museum and goes out to see a big billboard sign painted with Mr. Rager devouring a burger and a line saying, "New York's second favorite burger." As if on cue, Meadow jumps in a cab and heads off to her favorite burger place where they had their first date together. She doesn't see Jabari, but soon she is startled to find him standing behind her. They embrace each other and share a long, passionate kiss. To watch more content like this, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like the video.